Hi folks, and welcome back to Real Kitchen Projects. Today I'm working on a U-shaped kitchen. I'll need two different types of base corner cabinets. So before I show you which type of cabinet I used and why I used them, if any of this information will help you in your project, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's go. Okay folks, so here we have a U-shaped kitchen. And this is why, for this particular design, we need two different types of base corner cabinets. The window in this layout is really close to this wall. So we need to center this sink cabinet right over this window. And once we do that with a decent sized base cabinet, I'm using a 36-inch base cabinet. We only have so much room on the right side. Let me just give you a quick dimension on what we're dealing with here. So 27 inches is what we're left over. So if you use a Susan, which you actually would not be able to use because you need at least 36 inches from the corner out. So in this space, I'm going to use a blind corner cabinet. Here's my blind cabinet. I'll just copy that. I'm going to place it right here. So base cabinets, like I said before in my previous videos, are 24 inches from the back of the cabinet to the front of the frame. You have to add an extra 3/4 of an inch for the door and a little bit more for the bumper. So here we have 27, which is perfect for this base. And in between here, we're going to put a filler. So let's see what that space is. Just so you guys can see, it's going to be a clean 3-inch filler on the computer. Remember, in real life, walls are not straight, floors aren't level. So this could be a little bit different. So let's put our little filler here. Here it is. Pop it into place. Perfect. Pop it into place right there. So now you have your blind corner cabinet, your sink base cabinet. It's centered right over the window, which this is perfect. In my previous videos, I went over why blind corner cabinets need to be pulled off the wall. This particular one is pulled off 3 inches. So you have to add 3 inches to whatever the depth, whatever the length of the base cabinet is. And I would mark that on the wall. I did that on this site. I went over there and I measured everything and made sure that this cabinet was going to be pulled off the wall properly. So here we have a 27-inch gap with a 3-inch filler, and that takes care of this corner. On the opposite side, that's where I'm going to put in my Lazy Susan. So now I can turn the corner here cleanly without having anything in my way. Makes for a nice transition, turning the corner here. To the left of the sink, obviously we're going to put our dishwasher. And I'm going to put a trash cabinet, which everybody wants. One thing is, once you finish your kitchen, you don't want to have to go out and buy a separate trash can once you've gone through the expense and time and designing your kitchen. So we have the sink centered on this window, a 27-inch gap remaining between the wall and the cabinet. Perfect. Fill in the gap with a filler. Pull the blind off the wall. A dishwasher to the left and a trash cabinet. Now the next cabinet I used was a drawer base. This particular drawer base has 3 drawers in it, 2 large ones and 1 small on top. So now if you notice, I have a gap here. Whenever you're going wall to wall, you're always going to need a filler somewhere. Don't ever try to fit cabinets 100% cleanly wall to wall. It'll never happen. You'll wind up in a lot of trouble because if the cabinet doesn't fit, you're going to wind up eating that cabinet, buying a smaller one, and still adding the filler. So we have a filler here. Remember, once you center this sink cabinet over the window, you have two different entities. You have this side, the right, and you have the left. Two separate runs, essentially. So here, I have 1.25 inch gap between the Susan and the next cabinet over. Don't ever try to fit 100% cabinetry across. It's never going to happen. Unless it's your project that you're working on and not a client's, and you're willing to take that chance. I personally would never take that chance. So here you have it. A clean way to turn the corner in a U-shaped kitchen with the sink hovering on the right side and centered over the window. I will show you some images of this project as it's being installed. Okay, let's continue. So now we have our Susan in the corner. This is where our range is going to go on this wall. Let's pop in our range. And this last cabinet here, I'm going to have a transitional cabinet because we have a very busy entrance here. So I want a nice soft corner so you don't hit your hip when you're coming in and out of this location. So here is the transitional cabinet. That takes care of the base cabinets along this wall. Here, we're going to put a filler and a panel for the fridge. Okay, we popped in our panel. Here we have our filler, and here we have our blind corner base. So this is why I needed two different types of base cabinets in this particular design. One main reason is because the sink needs to favor the right side and not enough room to turn the corner without a blind cabinet. On the other side, plenty of room, lazy Susan. Let's view some of the pictures of the actual construction site, the install. Okay, here you'll see the before shot. You can notice the soffit that we removed, old oak doors, and a blind corner here. The sink is in the same location. On the other side, you'll see an oven cabinet with a cooktop. That's one of the main differences we did in this design. We got rid of this cabinet, we got rid of the cooktop, we turned the corner with the Susan, and we added a range. Here are the new cabinets. Here's your sink, here's your blind. That pretty much had to stay where it was, so we just updated that. Here is the biggest difference. Here's the Susan, the range, and the base transitional cabinet. Well, there you have it, folks. How to use two different types of base corner cabinets in one unit. If any of this information is helpful to you in your design, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and most importantly, have a great day.